Hi, I'm David Cantor with the law offices of David Michael Cantor, and today I'm going to talk about underage drink and drive. A lot of people call this underage DUI, which is kind of a misnomer. All that's required on underage drink and drive is if you're under 21 years of age, you have consumed alcohol and it's in your system and you're driving a motor vehicle. So actually a DUI or driving under the influence or being above an 08 is not required with this particular charge. Now the penalty, assuming there's not a DUI involved, it can include a 2-year license suspension, fine, and classes. Now, if there is a DUI involved, meaning you're also impaired by alcohol or you're above an 08, then all the DUI penalties apply along with the 2-year license suspension. As far as the DUI penalties, that involves jail, classes. You can go to our website and look under the DUI sections and get those penalties if that's also been charged along with underage drink and drive. Now, the defenses for underage drink and drive include no reasonable suspicion to stop, meaning they just pulled you over because you look too young or you're the wrong color in the wrong neighborhood. They can't do that. No actual physical control. That's APC. That means you pulled over, voluntarily relinquished control, and you're just phoning a friend waiting for a ride, and you're just sitting in your car's temporary shelter from the heat and running the air conditioner. That's a defense. No probable cause for arrest, meaning that you had heels that were too tall if you're a woman, or they weren't certified to give the eye test, horizontal gaze nystagmus, things of that nature. We can attack on that basis. No denial of right to counsel. You said, look, I want to call my dad who's a lawyer, and they didn't let you make a phone call, or I want to call a lawyer. That's a defense. In challenging the blood or breath readings, with breath specifically, we challenge the standard quality assurance procedure. That checks the baseline. Every 90 days, they do a multitude of tests. These devices have a plus or minus 10% error factor at any given time. That means it could read you 10% high right off the bat to no fault of your own. Your body temperature can influence the reading. Mouth alcohol, if you have regurgitation issues, that can affect the reading. In regard to blood testing, basically, we look to see if the officer used a betadine swab. If you used alcohol, that can add alcohol to your reading. We look to see if you use an alcohol hand sanitizer. If you got the gloves on and there's alcohol and then he touched your hand to palpitate the vein, that can add alcohol to your reading. We look at fermentation and coagulation issues. In the vials, whenever they draw your blood at the doctor's office, there's a little powder at the bottom of the vial. That prevents your blood from fermenting or coagulating. If they don't properly mix the powder in with the blood, your blood will ferment and turn into alcohol, just like rice turns into sake, wheat turns into beer, grapes turn into wine. Blood can turn into alcohol. The machine itself, it involves an auto sampler. It looks like a Lazy Susan that contains 30 vials of blood. This thing will rotate overnight. Same needle punctures the top of each vial, and the air between the top of the blood and the bottom of the cork, it sucks it out and shoots it into a breath testing device. It's called headspace gas chromatography. No doctor on earth, no hospital on earth tests blood that way, but the government does because it's cheap, it's quick, it's easy. But that needle that punctures these vials, they only change it once every 2,000 tests. And we can attack the readings based upon that. We have a very good success rate at challenging DUIs and underage drink and drive. Go to our website under the victory section and you can look at some of these. If you or a friend have been charged, or a daughter or a son, with underage drink and drive, call us, set an appointment. It's a free initial consultation, and we'll go over your case with you from top to bottom to explain what we can do to help get you out of this. Take care.